In this tutorial, we will learn what is data attribute. If you have a basic understanding of HTML, then this would not be different for you. In HTML, you can specify data attribute using data name along with the name of your data. So, it means any attribute on any element whose attribute name starts with the data is a data attribute. Suppose you have an element and you wanted to store some data for extra information that doesn't have any visual representation. In that situation, you can use data attribute. Like this, in HTML, you can specify data attribute to the element. So I will just create navigation tag here and say class navbar and specify two data attributes. So I will say data number 0 and create my second attribute. So I will say data name navbar light, right? So we had created two data attribute here. Now if you wanted to use any extra information in your JavaScript program, then this data attribute will definitely help you. Now suppose if you have two navigation menu with same class and if you wanted to access the first navigation menu with their name, then the data attribute will help you like this. So I will just create two navigation menu here. I already created my first navigation menu, so I will just copy the first navigation menu and paste it here and just change my data attribute to 1 and the data name navbar dark. In main.js file, I will just first select my navigation tag using navbar class. So I will say let now is equal to document dot query selector all. I will just call query selector all method and in the parentheses I will say dot navbar, right? Using the class name, we will access navigation tag using the class name. In the previous video, we had learned how to set attribute to the element using set attribute method. Now using get attribute method, you can get the attribute value. You can also get the data attribute using get attribute method. You can get any attribute value using this method, just like this. So I will just say console.log and in the parentheses, I will say now. I will select my first navigation menu using the index number. So I will say 0 here. And say get attribute and in the parentheses I will specify name of my attribute, so I will say data number here. To access my second navigation menu attribute, I will just copy the statement, paste it here and just change the navigation menu index number to 1, right? But when you access your attribute using get attribute method, you need to write this code too long. To solve this problem, you have a dataset property. Using dataset property, you can get attribute value using attribute name. To read the data attribute, we have dataset property. To get the attribute value, specify dataset property dot the name of your data attribute which you had specified just after the data name, like this. I will just say console.log and in the parentheses, I will first select my first navigation menu. So I will say nav and in the square bracket I will specify 0 to select my first navigation menu and say dot data set and specify your data attribute here. So I will just say number here. So here you just need to specify your data name. You don't need to specify the complete name of your data attribute here. So I will just say number here, right? So using this method you can access your both navigation menu number, right? You can do the same thing with the second attribute also. So I will just copy the statement and paste it here and just change the number to name, right? So using this statement, you can access both navigation menu attribute. Now you know that how to use a data property to access data attribute. Now I just wanted to introduce a new useful property in JavaScript which is class name. Using class name property, you can get or set value of the class attribute of the specified element. You can specify your class name using string. To specify multiple classes, separate your class name with spaces. For example, now in this example, we will create toggle class function. This function toggle two classes with the flag variable, like this. So I will just first create a paragraph in the dom.html file. So I will just say p class is equal to toggle, right? And specify some demo text. So I will just say color this text, right? And create two CSS classes to change text color. I will just go to the head section of this document and say style, and just create a style tag and just say dot toggle in. So this is my first class, and specify color property light coral. And then I will just create my second class dot toggle out and specify property color light blue, right? Now just go to the main.js file. In this file we will first get rid of these all statements, and I will just say let toggle is equal to document.query selector and select your paragraph with the class name. I will just say toggle here, right? Now just after that I will just create an anonymous function here. So I will just say let color is equal to function, and I will just specify an argument flag here. And in the body of this function I will create if and else statement. So I will just say if, I will just specify my flag variable name here. So I will just say flag, and in the if statement I will just say toggle dot class name is equal to toggle in. So when the if condition become true, I just wanted to specify toggle in class to the paragraph, and when the condition become false, in the else statement I will say toggle dot class name is equal to toggle out, right? So when if condition become true, I will specify toggle in class to the paragraph, and if the condition become false, I will specify toggle out class to the paragraph. And just after that I will just call my function with the parameter. So I will first specify true here and run this document. So when you change the value of the flag argument, you can see your text color will automatically change, right? Because every time when you change the value of the argument, the if condition will become true and false and specify different classes to the paragraph, right?